Welcome to our deep dive. We're going to be looking at deep breathing.
Yeah,
This guide you sent in on deep breathing exercises.
yeah,
Not just about relaxation, though.
right. That's what most people think about it. But we're going to be talking about how it can be like a game changer for handling stress and even more.
So the guide kind of jumps right into the science behind stress. Like, what happens in our bodies when we get that feeling of being threatened?
It's that fight or flight,
Yeah.
that response. Your heart starts pounding,
Yeah.
your palms are sweating, you might even feel a little shaky.
Yeah.
And that's basically your nervous system kicking into gear, releasing a flood of those stress hormones like cortisol.
Oh, cortisol. Everyone's talking about cortisol these days. So
Yes.
that's what it is.
Yeah. And this response is actually really helpful if you think about it. Like, back in the day, if our ancestors were facing down a saber-toothed tiger, that's what they needed to get away.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. These days, it's not saber-toothed tigers. It's like, looming deadlines and traffic jams.
Yeah.
And we're constantly triggering that response.
It's so true. So it's like our bodies are just stuck in overdrive, like all the time.
Yeah.
Not exactly a recipe for a relaxed and happy life, is it?
No, it's not.
Which is where I guess deep breathing comes in.
Yes. And a lot of people think, oh, it's just about getting more oxygen, which of course it is part of it. But deep breathing actually stimulates the vagus nerve, which is like a direct line to your parasympathetic nervous system, which is that system that tells you to chill out.
The vagus nerve. So hold on. I know I'm supposed to know a lot about this stuff, but maybe you could break that down a little bit. For me, and also I think some of our listeners might not be super familiar with all the parts of their nervous system.
Of course, the best way to think about it is to think about the nervous system like a car.
Right. Okay.
And you have two pedals. The gas pedal is your sympathetic nervous system, which is that fight or flight response that's ready to hit the gas, the accelerator, when you need to react quickly. And then you have the brake, which is the parasympathetic nervous system, which is designed to slow things down and bring you back to that state of calm.
I like that. So basically deep breathing is like tapping the brakes on that stress response.
Exactly. Deep, slow breaths send a signal through that vagus nerve telling your body, okay, it's time to relax. The danger's past. So your heart rate, blood pressure, it all drops, your muscles loosen up, and mentally you start to feel more clear and focused.
That's amazing. I love the way the guide puts it. It's like hitting the reset button on your whole system.
Yeah.
But before we get into, trying out some breathing exercises and stuff, let's talk about the best way to, breathe deeply. The guide mentions something called diaphragmatic breathing.
Oh yeah, belly breathing. It's much more effective than shallow breathing, like up in your chest, because it fully engages your diaphragm, which is that large muscle that sits right below your lungs.
Yeah.
And when you breathe with your diaphragm, you're taking in way more air,
Right. Okay.
and you're really maximizing the benefits.
That makes sense. And also, I noticed the guide emphasizes posture.
Yes.
Like sitting comfortably with a straight back, relaxed shoulders, hands resting gently either in your lap or on your belly.
That's because good posture really allows your lungs to expand fully, optimizing each breath. And the other thing is pace.
Oh, pace?
Aim for a slow, even rhythm. The guide recommends like a 4 count for each inhale and exhale. You can adjust that to what feels comfortable for you.
Got it. Slow and steady wins the relaxation race. So the guide actually outlines 3 specific deep breathing techniques. Are you ready to try them out together?
Absolutely. I think that's the best way to actually really experience them and their effects.
Okay, so let's start with the 4-4-4 breathing technique. Super simple, good for beginners. You're gonna inhale through your nose for a count of 4, hold for 4, and then exhale through your mouth for another count of 4. Ready?
Let's do it. I find that even just a few rounds of this just bring a sense of calm and focus.
Okay, breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. See? Not so hard, right? What do you think? How does that feel?
I don't know about you, but I feel like just a little bit more grounded already. Amazing how just a few conscious breaths can just shift things.
It's like a mini vacation
Yeah.
for your nervous system.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so should we move on to technique number 2?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, this one is called belly breathing, and it's all about, engaging that diaphragm.
You want to put one hand on your chest and the other one on your belly, like just below your ribs.
Yeah.
And as you inhale through your nose, focus on expanding your belly like a balloon. So that hand on your belly is going to rise. The hand on your chest should stay pretty still. And then you exhale slowly through your mouth, feeling that belly deflate.
It might feel a little weird at first, right? I've noticed that.
Oh, yeah.
But it gets easier.
You get used to it.
Okay, let's try it together. Inhale deeply, feeling that belly rise. And exhale, letting it fall back down. How's that feel?
I'm already noticing a difference in my posture, I feel like. Taller.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I was going to say I feel more open.
Yeah.
Like I can breathe deeper already.
Totally.
And I bet if we kept practicing, we would start to notice those mental benefits too, like, that increased
Oh,
focus,
for sure, yeah.
feeling calmer.
And here's a really interesting thing about belly breathing, is it actually helps massage your internal organs,
What? Really?
which can help relax you even more.
That's so cool. I
Yeah.
did not know that. Okay, all right, let's move on to the final technique. This is the 5-count breathing. The guide mentions that this one is especially good for, like, calming anxiety.
And the reason for that is because when we're anxious, our breaths tend to be really short and shallow.
Right, yeah.
And so by extending the exhale in this technique, you're actually triggering a stronger response from that parasympathetic nervous system.
Okay.
So you're really putting the brakes on that stress.
Wow, I like that. Okay, so for this one, we're going to inhale through our nose for a count of 5,
Okay,
and then exhale through our mouth for a count of 5. Ready?
let's try it.
All right. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale 2, 3, 4, 5.
Just focus on making that exhale nice and smooth, like
Alright.
letting go of any tension with each breath.
It does feel good. Okay, I like these. I like all 3. Do you have a favorite so far? I think I'm liking that 5-count breathing. It's just very, I don't know, grounding,
Yeah.
calming.
Yeah, it's really interesting how the different techniques resonate with us in different ways.
It is.
Personally, I think I like the belly breathing. I
Yeah.
find that when I'm feeling super overwhelmed or just like stressed out, it helps me just reconnect with my body,
Yeah. Yeah.
get back to center.
That's a really good point. I think it's all about finding what works for you.
Exactly.
But now, remember that surprising benefit that we were talking about at the beginning?
Oh, yeah.
The guide says deep breathing can do so much more than just, like, chill you out.
Oh, so much more. It's like a hidden superpower for your brain.
Right.
It's amazing. Studies have shown it can improve focus, boost your mood. It can even enhance creativity.
And it all goes back to that increased oxygen flow to the brain, right?
Exactly. So when you're breathing deeply, you're literally fueling your brain with the oxygen it needs to function at its best.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you now.
Think about it this way. When you're stressed or anxious, your brain is like a computer running way too many programs. Everything's slow. You're more likely to make errors, Deep breathing is like closing all those unnecessary programs,
I love that.
freeing up your RAM to just focus.
Yeah, that's such a good analogy. So basically we're talking about like a natural performance enhancer for your brain without the side effects. That's awesome.
Right. And the best part is you don't need to be spending hours meditating to get these benefits. You can do it anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
Even just a few minutes each day of deep breathing can make a huge difference.
So it's like we have this secret weapon
Yeah.
against stress and brain fog.
Totally.
It's right there in our lungs.
Yeah.
This guide focuses on like the individual benefits, but I'm wondering, is there like a ripple effect?
Oh, interesting.
Like, could bringing more deep breathing into our lives actually impact, like, our relationships, work, even our creativity?
That is such a good question, and I think it really speaks to how everything is connected, right? When you are calmer and more centered, you just show up differently in the world.
Hmm.
You're more patient, more present, even more able to tap into that creative flow.
So it's not even just about feeling better. It's like
Right.
you're saying it's about being better
Yeah.
in all areas of your life.
Exactly. Like, imagine if you were approaching a challenging situation at work, but you were coming at it with a calm, clear mind. Instead of, reacting from that place of stress and being overwhelmed. Or, think about your relationships. Like, how much more fulfilling could they be if you could just respond to conflict with more patience and understanding?
That's a good point. It's like deep breathing gives us that space, right?
Yeah.
To choose. Like, instead of just, reacting, you can actually think about it.
Totally.
I know. I've noticed a difference. Just the other day, I was stuck in traffic, like really bad traffic, the kind that makes you want to
Right.
scream, But instead of like going there, I just started doing some belly breathing, and it actually helped like a lot. I actually felt a sense of peace, even though I was like surrounded by this crazy chaos.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is a perfect example of how you can use it just to navigate those ups and downs of life.
Yeah.
With a little more grace, a little more resilience. And the great thing is, it's always there. It's a tool that you always have access to, no matter where you are, what you're going through.
Yeah, it's like superpower. I mean, we all have it, but we just forget to use it half the time. So, to wrap things up, I want to leave you with a challenge and an invitation. The challenge is this: commit to bringing deep breathing into your life every day, even if it's just for like a few minutes, you know? Experiment with all the different techniques that we talked about and see what you like, see what works for you. And the invitation is this: pay attention to how even just those little shifts in your breathing can create positive changes in your life. You know, your mood, your focus, your relationships, just your overall well-being.
I love that. Remember, you have the power to change your life one breath at a time.